They say pain is temporary, that it fades, that time heals all wounds. But what they don't tell you is that the scars it leaves behind never really disappear. They become part of you, woven into your skin, into your soul. And after a while, you stop trying to hide them. You wear them like armor, because the truth is, the people without scars, they've never really lived. You see, pain changes you. It sharpens you, shapes you, burns away everything that isn't real, until all that's left is the core of who you are. And that's why they fear it. That's why they run from it. They don't want it to be changed. They want to stay comfortable, stay soft. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Softness is the enemy of strength. They don't understand that pain isn't something to fear. It's something to embrace, something to dive into headfirst, because that's where the real transformation happens. That's where you find out what you're truly made of. It's in those moments when everything falls apart, when the world comes crashing down around you, that you discover the parts of yourself that are unbreakable. And when you come out the other side, when you've crawled through the fire, through the darkness, and emerged scarred, but still standing, that's when you realize just how powerful you are. That's when you realize that nothing, no amount of pain, no amount of chaos, can ever destroy you, because you've already faced the worst of it, and you're still here. The people who have never felt real pain, they don't get it. They look at you and wonder how you can keep going, how you can keep pushing forward when everything is falling apart. But they don't know what it's like to have nothing left to lose. They don't know what it's like to stand at the edge of the abyss and stare into the void, unafraid. Because once you've been there, once you've felt that kind of darkness, nothing scares you anymore. Not the pain, not the chaos, not the uncertainty. You learn to thrive in it. You learn to make the darkness your home, to find your way, even when there's no light to guide you. And that's where your strength comes from. They think strength is about never breaking, never falling apart. But that's not true. Strength is about breaking over and over again, and putting yourself back together, every single time. It's about picking up the shattered pieces of your life and building something new, something stronger, something more real than what you had before. And the people who have never been broken, they'll never understand that. They'll never understand the kind of power that comes from surviving the storm, from walking through the fire and coming out the other side, not unscathed, but unbowed. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you unstoppable. They talk about resilience like it's something you're born with, like it's something that just comes naturally. But resilience is forged in pain. It's built in the moments when you have nothing left to give, but somehow find a way to keep going. It's born in the moments when you're on your knees, bleeding, broken, but you refuse to stay down. That's the thing they don't tell you about pain. It doesn't just destroy. It creates. It builds. It shapes. It makes you stronger, harder, more resilient than you ever thought possible. And once you've felt that kind of pain, once you've survived it, you realize that there's nothing in this world that can break you anymore. Not really. They might try to tear you down. They might throw everything they have at you, hoping it'll be enough to make you quit, to make you give up. But it won't work. Because you've already faced worse. You've already walked through hell, and you came out the other side. And that's something they'll never be able to take from you. So let them talk. I films, wordsings, additions, at the island, Havendo. Let them judge. Let them say you're damaged, that you're broken, that you're too scarred to ever be whole again. Because the truth is, you don't need to be whole. You don't need to be perfect. All you need to do is keep moving forward. All you need to do is keep fighting, keep pushing, keep surviving. Because every time you get knocked down and you get back up, you prove them wrong. You prove to yourself that you're stronger than they ever imagined. Stronger than you ever imagined. And that's the real power. The power to endure. The power to survive. The power to keep going when everything around you is telling you to quit. They think pain is a weakness, that it makes you vulnerable. But what they don't realize is that pain is a teacher. It shows you things about yourself that you would have never known otherwise. It strips away the lies, the illusions, and reveals the truth of who you are. And once you've seen that truth, and you can't unsee it. You can't go back to who you were before. Yours, no problems. They'll never understand that. They'll never understand that the pain you've been through has made you who you are. It shaped you, molded you, and made you stronger than they could ever be. And that's why they'll never be able to break you. Because you've already been broken. You've already been through the worst, and you survived. And that's the thing about survival. It changes you. It hardens you, makes you tougher, makes you less willing to put up with the bullshit. You stop caring about what other people think. You stop caring about their opinions, their judgments. Because you've faced real pain, real chaos, and their words, they're just noise. So let them talk. Let them call you crazy. Let them say you're too far gone, too damaged to ever be normal again. They don't know the half of it. They don't know what it took to get here, what it took to survive. And they don't need to, because the only thing that matters is that you're still here, still standing, still fighting. And that's the thing about people like you. People who have been through the fire, who have been broken and rebuilt themselves over and over again. You're not like them. You're stronger. You're tougher. You don't need their approval, their validation. You don't need to fit into their little boxes, to play by their rules. Because you've already seen the truth. And you've already faced the darkness. And you survived. They don't get it. They never will. But that's okay. Because you don't need them to understand. You don't need them to see the world the way you do. All you need is to keep moving forward, to keep fighting, to keep surviving. And when they finally realize that they can't break you, that nothing they do will ever be enough to tear you down, that's when you've won. Because at the end of the day, it's not about being unbreakable. It's about being able to put yourself back together every time you fall apart. It's about refusing to stay down, no matter how many times you get knocked to the ground. It's about knowing that the pain, the chaos, the darkness, it's all part of the journey. And you're not afraid of the journey anymore. And that's what they'll never understand. They think life is about winning, about achieving, about getting somewhere. But for people like us, life is about surviving. It's about enduring. It's about taking every hit that comes your way and getting back up, no matter how hard you fall. That's the real victory. That's the real strength. Because here's the truth they don't want to admit. Everyone falls. Everyone gets broken. No one is immune to pain, to suffering. But what separates the strong from the weak isn't the absence of pain. It's how you deal with it. It's what you do when everything goes wrong. When everything you've built, comes crashing down around you. And people like us, and we've been through it all. We've seen the worst of it. We've been to the bottom, where there's nothing but darkness, nothing but despair. And we've crawled our way back, inch by inch, until we could finally breathe again. Until we could finally stand again. That's the thing about people who have suffered. They learn to appreciate the small victories. They learn to find strength in the moments when everything is stacked against them. Because we know that it's not about never falling. It's about how many times you're willing to get back up. It's about resilience. Well, it's about grit. And once you've learned that, once you've truly understood that survival is the real battle, the real goal, you become unstoppable. Not because you never feel pain, but because you've learned how to endure it. Because you've learned how to let it shape you, how to let it turn you into something stronger, something harder, something unbreakable. They'll never get that, they'll never understand why you keep going when everything is falling apart. They'll never understand why you keep fighting when it feels like the whole world is against you. But that's because they haven't seen what you've seen. They haven't been through what you've been through. They still believe in the illusion of control, in the idea that if they just follow the rules, if they just do everything right, they'll be safe. But you know better. You know that life doesn't work like that. You know that chaos is always lurking, just waiting to strike. And you've learned to live with that. You've learned to thrive in it. Because the truth is, once you've faced the worst, nothing can scare you anymore. Nothing can make you cower in fear, because you've already been to the depths of hell and back. You've already faced the darkest parts of yourself, and you survived. And that's something they'll never take away from you. They can try to tear you down. They can try to break you. But they'll never succeed. Because the thing about people like us, we've already been broken. We've already been shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. And we've put ourselves back together, stronger than before. And here's the thing about putting yourself back together. You don't do it the same way. You don't go back to being who you were. No. You become something new. Something different. You rebuild yourself into something stronger, something more resilient, something that can withstand whatever the world throws at you next. And that's why they'll never be able to break you again. Because you've learned how to rebuild. You've learned how to take the pieces of yourself and forge them into something unbreakable. You've learned how to turn your pain into power, how to turn your scars into armor. They don't get that, though. They think strength is about never breaking, about never feeling pain. But real strength, it comes from breaking. It comes from falling apart and finding the courage to put yourself back together. It comes from facing your worst fears and realizing that you're still standing, that you're still here, still fighting. That's what they don't understand. They think they can break you, but they don't realize that you've already been broken. You've already been through the worst, and you survived. And now, now you're stronger than ever. Now, you're ready for whatever comes next. They'll never understand that pain is part of the process, that suffering is part of growth. They'll never understand that every scar tells a story. Every wound is a reminder of what you've overcome. And that's why they'll never be as strong as you, because they haven't faced what you've faced. They haven't walked through the fire and come out the other side. But you have. You've been through the worst, and you're still standing. You faced the darkness, and you didn't flinch. You've seen the chaos, and you didn't run. And now? Now, you're stronger than ever. Now, you're ready for whatever comes next. So let them talk. Let them judge. Let them say you're broken, that you're too damaged to ever be whole again. They don't know the truth. They don't know that your scars are your strength, that your pain has made you powerful. They don't know that every time they try to tear you down, they're only making you stronger. Because the thing about people like us, we don't stay down. We don't quit. We don't give up. We fight. And our balance. And bumstead. In turn, we endure. But we survive. And every time we get knocked down, we get back up stronger than before. They'll never understand that. They'll never understand the kind of power that comes from surviving, from enduring, from facing the worst and still standing. But that's okay. You don't need them to understand. You don't need their validation, their approval. All you need is to keep moving forward, to keep fighting, to keep surviving. Because at the end of the day, that's what life is about. It's not about never falling. It's not about never feeling pain. It's about getting back up, time and time again, no matter how many times you fall. It's about learning to embrace the chaos, to thrive in the darkness, to find strength in your scars. They'll never understand that. They'll never understand that real strength comes from pain, that real power comes from suffering. But you do. You've lived it. You've survived it. And now, and down are all these. Now you're stronger than ever. So let them talk. Let them judge. Let them say whatever they want. Because you know the truth. You know that you're unbreakable. You know that no matter what life throws at you, no matter how many times you fall, you'll always get back up, stronger. I don't want to have a choice that you'll about, and there'll be a doubt, tougher. And I went down, and the counting, and to win, and it's all, don't, undeserved, things, unstoppable.